Here goes nothing. What's up, y'all? My name is Jessica, and today we're going to be doing the first ever podcast. I don't know how many times I've attempted to do this in my lifetime. From how many times people have told me that I should, do a little podcast, do a little yappa-daddle-doo. But I feel like, I don't know, I just need to do it. I feel like I'm at that point where I have to do it, even though if I look absolute buns, even if the quality, the audio, everything is buns, I just have to do it. Like, every time I would record an episode, something would either go wrong, or I just felt like I have to look presentable and I have to look some type of way, and I just feel like that's untrue to myself. I feel like lately I've been in the state, I have stuff we can talk about, but I feel like lately I've been in the state where I'm trying to genuinely be true to myself. I already thought I was being myself already, but I feel like currently, now more than ever, gonna turn 22 in 2 weeks, more like 1 week in some sense. My birthday's on June 24th. I feel like now more than ever, not because I'm about to turn a fucking 22 age, no. Now more than ever, I get stuttery, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna be a little bit of a mess for this first one, and probably all of them, if this continues. If I think I don't look some certain way, or I don't look like or if I'm hopefully I don't offend anybody, people, I'm about to get canceled. But I just feel like for a while now, I've been really trying to like actually be true to myself and to my character, and do the morals and the things that I uphold for myself correctly. Like, people always say, like, if you don't feel like you should go out, then you shouldn't go out. Like, that's okay. You can cancel on plans and things like that. And I feel like I've never known that. Like, I don't ever want to miss an opportunity to hang out with a friend or do something that I deem enjoyable. Like, I don't want to. FOMO is real, y'all. Or I just feel like I feel like sometimes I get guilt tripped in some sense, in some sense. I'm figuring it out, basically. And I feel like I thought I knew myself, but now I'm really trying to know myself even more, especially when you come into your 20s. And golly, coming into your fucking 20s is hell. Is absolute hell. I mean, I'm assuming you're in your 20s as well, right? So, yes, it's absolute buns, as they say. Sorry. This is my favorite juice ever, cranberry juice from the one Ocean View brand, but we've been getting the knockoff one from, I think, Walmart or Albertsons, and it's pretty good, I will say so myself. I'm recovering from a fucking, I think, a throat infection. Pause. No, but I had a kickback on Memorial Day weekend. Get up, cocksucker. Salute no. That's what we're gonna salute the Mexican flag, bitch. Oh, the economic state of the world, bro. You already know where I swore. Anyhow, sorry, I get distracted so easily. I feel like there's so many bajillion things to fucking talk about. But one thing you should know is I stand on the right side, okay? I'm not trying to be some fucking woke ass bitch, okay? I'm not even trying to do that or trying to be some type of way, all right? I'm just, let's lay the lay of the land. Let's put that out there, okay? Anyhow, I have all my makeup here, and my room's a fucking mess. So if you hear something fall or me stumbling, it's because there's like shit everywhere. And I gotta be raw and real for this first episode, to be honest, because it's been a minute. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, I hosted a party on Memorial Monday, and motherfucking Nathan, if you're here, when was this? Because I love saying that. He gave me a cigarette. This is not this is an earring. What's it called? I took one hit. I literally have a video, and I'm like, I literally am dying. And ever since I drank that, I don't know if you got cooties or something, but what the fuck? Because literally after that, I'm joking. No hate to him. I got fucking, I didn't get sick, but like my throat literally is still like recovering. I was coughing so much like for the past 2 weeks, and I barely started recovering. Like, this week has barely been, and even then, like, my throat feels all tender and stuff, and even my singing I can feel is different. Like, I'm struggling a bit. Like, it's, I don't know. I got, like, I heard that from smoking you can get infection from that. So anyway, I'm still dying from that, so I need a little drink, and plus I yap so much that, you know, I'm a little parched. I need to drink something. But yeah, that's my favorite thing. Anywho, people say that you shouldn't have, like, topic. I don't know. It's 50-50. I feel like I'm always asking. I don't know. That's been a main thing in my life where I'm always asking people for advice because, bitch, I'm indecisive as heck. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, back it up. We'll look at all points of view. And obviously, I always ask for everybody's advice, and I look at everything, and I know what truly my decision would probably be, or, like, what my top decision would be. And then I go from there. But I feel like I'm trying to wean off that in some type of sense, because I definitely depend on a lot of people's opinions and things like that. Not that I don't think I'm necessarily, well, okay, everyone's a people pleaser, but I don't think I'm necessarily, like, a fucking huge ass people pleaser. I think I've definitely stepped way further from that, because in high school, oh my god, dick sucker. Like, no, I'm just playing. Sorry, it's an inside joke, but, you know, blazer. That's the more appropriate term. But what could we talk about? But people say, like, oh my god, you should have, like, a list of things that you should talk about, and or you should do it naturally and just yap. I feel like I can win. I have a little bit of both, so we can go from there. And yeah, so I already said, hey, yo, my name's Jessica. I'm 21. I'm about to turn 22 on June 24th. Born in 2003. You already know. Born in Bakersfield. I lived here my whole When you're born and raised here, it's a different type of horror. Yeah. No, and that's another thing. I can never comprehend. I don't know. I feel like, okay, so last year, little background lore, I moved-ish in some sense. I was living with my uncle for, like, half of I started in May to, like, basically December. I was living with my uncle in LA. And I was working at Knott's Berry Farm. That's crazy. An amusement park. Yeah. Also, if you hear background noise, it's the loud ass bathroom fan and my loud ass family. So just beware. I know we're already 7 minutes in, but you know what I'm saying? Just a little FYI. So anyhow, was living there, working there for that amount of time. I only literally made 2 friends in the time I was there, which that's a whole separate thing, because I just feel like LA people are a different entity. And I say LA people because people hate when in general people say this, because it's like when people think of LA people, they think of, like, central LA, like East LA, like central. When I say LA people, I mean the whole fucking county as a whole. Alrighty, because I was near, I was in Norwalk, but I was near Orange County, so more of the influence of the people I'm referring to. But yeah, I only made, like, 2 friends the whole time I was being there. Maybe because I didn't put myself out there as I could have been, but also I just feel like the environment, nobody gave a fuck, and nobody wanted to give a fuck, and nobody wanted to be my friend. Oh my god, boo me. No, I'm playing, but you know, it just is what it is. And yeah, so why did I bring up LA? Oh, I feel like a lot of people get comfortable with being in Bakersfield, and a lot of people actually, horrifyingly enough, like, want to settle here, or like they were born and raised in here, or they moved here from a whole different country or a whole different city, and they're like, yeah, it's actually not that bad. Actually, it's coming up. It's getting renovated, and that is terrifying to me. That is absolutely, like, hot take, I don't feel like anybody who was born in their city, LA, Norwalk, Bakersfield, fucking Denmark, I don't know, should stay in that city. Unless, I mean, I don't know. Then again, if you're, like, in a European country, if you're in anywhere but the USA, I feel like the odds are ever in your favor. Like, it's so much better than all these, like, little cities and things like that. But I see the appeal and the comfort that Bakersfield brings, and I think that's what a lot of people love about Bakersfield and just small cities in general, is the comfortability, and that is something I cannot stand. I hate being comfortable, and yeah, I may be comfortable within the position I am right now in terms of, like, where my life is right now. I'm in a little bit of a limbo, a little bit of stagnant, but not for long, only for, like, 2.5 months. Yeah, I quit my job last month, not from Knott's, but from a different job, aka Sonic. I don't even know if I should be saying their names like that, but I don't mean any ill intent when I because I'm not representing you anymore because I'm not an employee, but I'm not disrespecting you in any type of way because, yeah, no ill intent. This is all just a matter of opinion because I'm not even your employee anymore. I don't know if that helps the legality of it all, but anyhow. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I had a burrito earlier and that juice is, you know. But yeah, I feel like a lot of people are comfortable with Bakersfield and small cities in general, and I can see it. When living in LA, I could see the appeal. I can see, like, I definitely missed here only because my friends were here and I only had 2 friends over there, and even then, like, yeah. And also my cats were here. I genuinely, like, really miss my cats, which is funny because literally, well, the 2 cats that I have right now, Ripley, not Ripley, I've had her since sophomore year of high school. She's my black cat. And then Pumpkin and Pixie, I got them, last year? Yeah, but the year before I was in Japan. What's it called? I feel like when I was in Japan, like, of course I missed my cat, which was Zuko, who unfortunately literally the week prior went missing. So, what a way to start off things on my trip. But, and then I still had Ripley, obviously, but I feel like, not that I didn't miss them, but, like, you know, I was chilling in a different country, and I feel like now if I went to Japan and, like, was thinking, I don't know if I would be, not that I wouldn't give a fuck that I was, sorry, I'm getting hot because I get warm really. Okay. But I start crying and shit, but I start tweaking. Not that I wouldn't miss them, but I feel like I'd still be like, bro, I love it in Japan, like, I'm good. Peace, kitties. No, I'm playing. But I know they're in good hands either way. In the times I've been gone away from them, or like when I was back and forth in LA, I knew I would come see them again. It's not like I was like, and then even then when I move out eventually, I'm gonna take either both of them or none of them. They're just gonna be chilling here because they're sisters. They grew up in a hoarder house, and yeah. Shout out to Pixie and Pumpkin because they survived. And yeah. Sorry, I didn't want it to seem like I was like, okay, anyhow. I'm already getting canceled, bro. I don't know. When it's raw, uncut like this. Sorry. I don't know. There's like so many music. Yeah, I'm done for it. I'm chopped. Goodbye. I don't mean any offensive references or anything like that. Like, I'm just fucking, I know too many memes, okay? I don't know, and I just fucking be blurting stuff because I got like ADHD and depression and all that shit, you know. That's all the excuse, but like, yeah. Anywho, literally the suggestion for what the title, so I'm posting this on YouTube, should be, what's out, I was thinking of calling it, is probably canceled by the end. Probs canceled by end. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, literally, okay, we got living life in your 20s, baker rants, fighting hater urge. I don't know what that's in regards to, probably being the comfortable. I just feel like, oh, when I was out at this one job for a foundation, Dolores Huerta Foundation, slay, there was this one girl, she was my partner, and she was really, really nice. And one time she said, oh, I love Bakersfield, like I couldn't see any place living anywhere else. And I was like that one freaking big planet meme, like, what do you mean by that? I don't think, even though I comprehended it a little bit when I was in LA, just a little bit, I still, like, I can't get behind wanting to always stay in the city that you were born in unless the city is hella slay. Like, if I was born in LA, bitch, I would never leave. I would travel to a lot of places. Okay, that's a lie. I would probably move to a different place, but for the most part, I would spend, like, probably a cool 20 years living, like, you know, my youth there, because live, laugh, love. It was fun. And yeah, I don't know what else to rant about. The Bako men here, sorry. We're gonna get into the men. I'm just, you know, I'm fighting the hater urge to not be dissing on men entirely, but bro, I have literal horror stories from when we first went out, when we were minors and we were checking out this teen. Don't ask why we were downtown, but we just wanted to see what was going on. We wanted a hot dog. That's why we were downtown, and literally we got hit on, harassed. What a time. Now that we're 21, me and my best friend, me and Destiny, It's always me and her on some shenanigan bullshit. Even more shenanigan bullshit has occurred when going downtown, and yeah, we're regulars at a bar. Like, that's not good as well. We alcoholics. No, I'm just kidding. We're not alcoholics. We like to have a good time. Y'all having a good time? We're like, yeah. We're party girls. Party on you. Anywho, my nose is stuffy too. I have different things. Okay, here are the most recent ones, because here, I'm gonna show you the paper of things I could talk about. I hope I don't have any names on here. Or things that I've wrote down in the past that I can yap about. I concised it because it used to be everywhere. And then here's the things that are just like quotes that I've had that I've wrote recently. You have to spend a lot of time by yourself just thinking. Well, yes. What is on the back of here? Okay. They got some lyrics for some song I was making. Well, speaking of, who wants to help me make a song? My friends keep saying, okay, sorry, I'm gonna shout out random people throughout the video because my friends, we are familiar, but everyone keeps saying Sean, if you're out there, Sean, if you're listening. This is so funny. That he makes music, and he makes really good music. He's literally my friend. He's came to my kickback, but I'm just shy to hit you up, so this is one way I'm hitting you up, okay? Let's make a song. Just some lyrics right here. Anywho, let's get back to what I was saying. You have to spend a lot of time by yourself just thinking. I think a lot of people, like how they're afraid to get out of their, a lot of people, I feel like this day and age, as a whole, not even correlated to city or like stuff like that, just in one's being, I feel like a lot of people aren't afraid. A lot of people are comfortable. A lot of people in this day and age and currently are comfortable, and I've been seeing that a lot of other people too talk about this before I even yapped about it right now. But people are afraid to be uncomfortable. People are afraid to put themselves in uncomfortable situations. Oh, I was watching a Sandra Oh speech, because she was doing a speech at her graduation, and she was saying, yeah, people are afraid to go in uncomfortable situations and put themselves in that. And the same thing when I was watching a video. I love, if you know me, I love learning languages. I've ASL and Japanese. I have the first class done in those, so yeah, I'm actually more fluent in Japanese than I am Spanish, which is disgrace, dishonor on me. But anyhow, I was watching a language video as well, and they're like, you have to put yourself in uncomfortable situations in terms of like, if you want to learn the language and actually speak it, because a lot of people like me, unfortunately, well, I feel like I could speak it good. Like, it's just, it takes a while for me to, when they're saying it, and then for me to process it and like it go in my brain, you know what I'm saying? And that's for any language. You know, I'd be fumbling in English as well. But what's it called? Yeah, when I was watching that video, like, you have to do those, you have to go put yourself in those situations to learn that language, to be uncomfortable, even though it's gonna be awkward as heck. And I've seen some awkward videos, like secondhand, third-hand embarrassment from things like that, but those are the things that get you out of your comfort zone, because that's a main thing that everyone has, and gets you to your goals faster, gets you up and at 'em, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I feel like and a lot of people are comfortable in relationships, a lot of people are comfortable in themselves, and yeah, I see that a lot. And I think sometimes I try my bad chat, sometimes I feel like, not that I'm above them in terms of like life or oneself, but I definitely think like, me, I'm so self-aware. No, I'm not trying to be some type of like I can know it all, but sometimes I feel like I am trying to be that way. Anywho, I feel like I do think it's not hitting them as much as I would want it to. Like I can yap all I want, like I am right now, and then it not as much as I want it to reach the right people and for them to change and for them to better themselves and better their life decisions, their relationships, their livelihood, and things like that. Like, they have to make that choice and they have to do that. and it's unfortunate because you can tell when someone's comfortable in their job and their life and their everything, and you can't do anything about it because that's their life. And obviously you don't, like, I don't know, I guess in some sense I used to be more like I used to be more controlling about it in old friendships, and I definitely think now I'm not. I try not to be. I'm definitely a lot better, but it's definitely something that I'm actively working on. And yeah, but I think it's definitely one of my icks and irks when I see it in someone. And obviously it's a self-reflection of oneself, of course. And yeah, I feel like that's a lot for a lot of people. So get out of your comfort zone. I feel like, you know, that's a duh. You know what I mean? But yeah. I feel like this is another deep one. We're at 20 minutes, by the way, so I don't know if you guys want to check yourselves out, but I'm gonna talk about vaguely, I don't know for how long, about love. Yeah, that's a big one. It's okay, you could go. But I feel like another big statement that I wrote down is people are afraid to love, which is crazy. Oh my god. I have what's it called? Not unwillingly, a different word for it. Anyhow, I bought this book, a little notebook. Sorry, I have glue on it because I use it as a glue gun holder, and there's cat hair. Anyhow, I bought this last year when I was in LA, and I wrote about my first experience with a man. And just being alone in a different city and things like that, and interacting with men, and just things like that, little crushes, little doodads like that. And since then I was just kind of like, this should be about love, and not just romantic love, but love and platonically and romantic, because I think that's it. Also, like, I don't know if you guys categorize like platonic towards your animals. I'm assuming so. Those are our babies though, so I feel like that's like, anyhow, that's motherly love. Anyhow, but different types of love I talk about in my book, in my notebook, in my journal, because I am struggling. I feel like a lot of people are struggling, but one thing I feel like a lot of people are struggling in is they're afraid to love, because I don't know, a lot of people are in hookup culture currently. Release me! And which is fine. I feel like it's 50-50. Obviously, I'm not trying to diss on people who do that. It's fine because people are trying to explore their options, for one. And I don't know if options is the right word. I feel like that's a little degrading towards people. But explore what they're into, what they prefer, what suits them in a relationship, and their connection and their compatibility. I feel like that's better. People are trying to figure that out, which is totally fine and is a good thing before you try to commit to someone and perhaps y'all end up fucking it up because y'all aren't compatible or whatever the fuck. So I feel like on one hand it's good. On the other hand, I feel like with all this hookup culture, whether it's sexually, physically, emotionally, whatever it may be, I feel like it's not the best either, because usually somebody come get her. Somebody gets feelings, you know. I feel like, I don't know why we labeled it as a situationship when it's really just friends with benefits. Well, I mean, I guess you don't have to necessarily be friends. I feel like it's friends with benefits, except you don't really have to hang out that often. That's your acquaintance. That's the homeboy. Like, bro, why are we calling it a situationship, bitch? It's horrible. And I've been in one. I didn't even know it was a situationship because I had my very first two situationships back in high school, sophomore year. What a time. Sophomore year was my high school. People always hate and they're like, oh my god, you peaked in high school if you talk about high school. I quite enjoyed my high school. I'm sorry that y'all didn't enjoy yours. I'm sorry, but I really enjoy. I don't know if that makes me a peaker in high school. But I genuinely don't think I was anybody. I think I was trying to be a somebody, but I was a nobody, cause nobody wanted me when I was nobody. Y'all know that from Shark Tale. Anyhow, yeah. Me and him are relatable. Shout out to Oscar. But yeah, I definitely was not no popular person, which I don't think there's really anybody that popular in high school, at least in my high school. Like, I know a lot of people's names and they didn't. One thing about me is I will always know someone's name and respectfully some of your business probably before you will ever know about me, because when I'm sleeping, when I open for Selena, period, I keep an eye out mainly for myself and also for my friends, because I don't know, I know that's assuming things about people, assuming stuff about them, like whether I heard it through rumors or factual evidence. But you know, I feel like, you know, I gotta do me. I gotta protect me. And that's part of my guard that's up and still is. But hey, a lot of the times I'm not. The stuff I find out isn't wrong. Most of the time, I don't know about the city, y'all. But anyhow, not to sum it up to that. But also, I'm so sorry if this seems like kind of scary. There's hats right there, and it's just a whole bunch of clothes. Okay, now you're gonna be looking back there. Anyhow, but yeah, I feel like it's okay to want that hookup culture, want that situationship, want that friends with benefits, because I thought at one point I wanted that too. I was like, okay, I'm okay with being nothing. I feel like I express. Oh, and I had a situation. I don't know. It was a situationship for like, I feel like only 3 days. Technically within the span of 2 weeks recently, which was messy. That's a whole story time. And it's not a whole story time in itself. But I feel like then and now I expressed, you know, if you don't have feelings for me anymore, we can cut it off. I don't know if a lot of people do that or if that's just a me thing, but I'm like, and maybe people use that to their advantage and that's why I get fucked over in the end, and maybe you as well. But I expressed like, hey, if you want it not to be serious, that's okay with me. Just let me know. And a lot of people like to fucking stomp on that and be like, evil. No, I'm playing. I don't know. That's why I don't like hookup culture, because there's players amidst the hookup culture. There's genuine people that are just there for one thing, whether that's emotional or physical, and then there's other people that like to string you along and see what they have out there, like literally what's out there, just literally what they call a roster. Who's at the bottom, who's at the top, who's gonna get fucking crossed off. It's literally Love Island out here in this day and age, but not in the good way, because a lot of people are chopped emotionally and physically, and don't come for me for that. It's just a funny word. But people are afraid to love because they're not afraid to open up. They're not afraid to have those conversations, whether it's friend situationship or actual like a relationship that's already been established, to have and communicate. It's always the communication, y'all. And be like, yo, if you want it to be this certain way, that's okay. And to know your boundaries and to know where you stand, because for me personally, I'm always like, hey, I think you find this, I think this could be something real. I always would love something real, of course. I think that's everybody, for the most part. I already said that at the front, you know, and people like to be like, actually, let's just kiss. Let's just, what do you want from me? I said that to someone recently, like, what do you want from me? And I feel like a lot of people don't lay the land how it is, and keep on having those checkups with their situationships. Respectfully. You know, in all of the situationship and shit and all that, it's complicated, and, you know, to each their own. But I think people are afraid to love because they're afraid to speak up, and they're afraid to speak up, and I feel like nobody's a yearner no more. Nobody's laying it on the line like a real ones. And being like upfront, I don't know. I feel like I feel like a lot of people claim like, oh yeah, I want something serious, or they're trying to find their exact type or their exact this, and not that it's not going to be out there, because you can manifest, you can believe, you can pray that it is, and maybe it could be, or maybe it already has been at one point, I don't know. Maybe there is love at first sight. I don't know. Whatever you believe in. I don't think a lot of people are willing to do that right away though, and that's fine because we're in our 20s and stuff, and I think that's what a lot of people get in their head. Like, but if you want to settle down and do those shits too, that's okay. I don't know. I just feel like, yeah, people are afraid just to love, like, have that shit flowing effortlessly. I don't know how else to describe it, but I feel like we could come back to that eventually in other episodes because maybe I haven't even processed it fully in some sense with me yapping nonsense. But yeah, right under it, it's like a separate little dash. You take what you want/can from people. People might be upset at this one, but in the sense that you have to realize what you can get and not necessarily, I want to say use, but not in that. I feel like use is has a negative connotation, but I mean, if someone's this sounds like some evil manipulator shit, but I mean in like the friendship type of way. I mean in like the acquaintance, like, yeah, that's your classmate, obviously. If they can help you out with homework every now and then, that's beneficial to you. What can you take from people that you want, and what can you get from people? And I mean in like the lesson sense. I mean like what do they teach you in some sense, and also like sometimes it is just transactional, superficial things with friendships and relationships. What if you want it to be? And sometimes I look at it a lot that way, and I know it's a bad thing, but sometimes I'm just like, well, I don't really necessarily care for you or things like that, but I definitely see the appeal to you to other people. Right now you're benefiting me for whatever reason, so I'll keep you around. And that might be fake. I'm sorry y'all, I'm a fake person. But I feel like that's a lot of people. I mean, especially in this small town, everybody knows everybody, and I feel like once you lose some connections, not necessarily that you're screwed over, but I mean, it's hard to get around in some sense. Connections and what are they called in the business world, where it's like, hi, how are you? And you're exchanging info and shit like that. Sorry, I'm not a professional, and I'm not as serious as I could be. But yeah, I feel like you gotta take what you can. Whether that's in a using way, not in a bad way, but in like, what's gonna benefit you at the end of the day. You really gotta think about that. And I don't know, maybe that's a selfish mindset. I've been really trying to dive into that. If I'm a selfish, I feel like everyone is inherently selfish to some extent. And I feel like for me personally, I definitely am a selfish person when it comes to that. Because if you don't benefit me in some way, I don't necessarily give a fuck about you. I'm sorry, what are you offering? I'm sorry, maybe I'm a bad guy. Am I the bad guy? But I feel like sometimes it just be like that. Sometimes it literally just be like that. And I feel like I don't necessarily have to state it for the other person to catch on. And even if they don't catch on, it's not like I'm not doing it in a harmful manner. Y'all don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. Don't twist my words, okay? And do as I say, not as I do. Do as I, you know what I mean. Anywho, whatever bullshit. Just do your own thing. You know what I'm saying? I'ma do my own thing. But yeah, I feel like I could probably have worded all of that better, but I digress. Sorry. I have my tweezers here, and my tweezers are like, they have this aura around them where it's just like, I want to tweeze every fucking last hair on my face. And these are actually really good. Oh, it's these Ione. This is from Dollar Tree, and it's a really good. Sorry, they speak to me. They speak to me. The freaking tweezers. But yeah, another little slight topic. We're about to hit 35 minutes, so I'll probably do a cutoff around 40, just cause. The fear of monetization of your passions and hobbies. This is like a huge fear of mine. I don't know. I was thinking about it today earlier when I was in the restroom, and I was just, waddling around the house aimlessly. But one of my friends, she does drawings and things like that, and they're beautiful. I love it. I love how she's done her setup and everything. And I feel like, oh my god, my throat. And also, like, another friend is into tattooing, their apprentice, and I'm like, how do you kind of find a balance between that? This is a question for everyone. How do you find a balance between your passion / hobbies and like making a profit off of that? And that's something I haven't asked them, but I just kind of look at it from an outside perspective, and I'm like, well, they're doing it, and that's something that I'm trying to like really sink in, that it is possible to do that and still have like a positive outlook on your passion, because that's my fear, that when and if I get into tattooing, that I'm gonna like lose motivation for it, like, you know. Oh my god, my nose. Why am I dying? Like get in a rut in some sense and like not enjoy drawing or makeup or different things that I like. And that's always been my fear, because I feel like I do get in ruts, not that I don't necessarily enjoy them, but I just feel like, oh, I'm not gonna be good enough, and like, oh, that's I feel like everyone at some point, in comparison is a thief of joy. But yeah, I do compare, and I'm like, well, I'm not at this point in my life or art or this, so I don't really feel like I can try to make money off of it, because it also seems sometimes like I don't necessarily have, not support for that, but like I don't know where I'm gonna get the people to support those things, because it kind of, not that it doesn't feel okay, it kind of does feel like I don't have that currently, in the sense where like, well, I'm definitely not promoting myself as much as I should in terms of tattooing, in terms of selling art and things like that. But I don't know, I'm afraid that like there's not going to be enough people to want to support that, even if I did promote it. So I don't know, that's my fear. And then that's my fear of like, well, I'm not gonna make no money from something that I enjoy, like, which I really want to do from tattooing. So then I'm gonna be like, damn, I ain't gonna make it out. I'm trying to make it out. I'm trying to make it out of the city. I'm just trying to make it out. You know what I'm saying? In some type of sense. So that is definitely a fear of mine, and I don't know. I think a lot of people could probably stand by it, but who knows? And yeah, just trying not to dislike your passion when making money from it, basically. And yeah. Just a conundrum I've been having recently, because I do really want to sell stickers and sell some of my art, and even sell like some flashes for tattoos. I'm not all the way perfect, obviously, but I definitely, here, wait, hold on. Ow! I have an art. Where'd it go? Where'd I throw the paper? Nah! Where did I throw the paper? Deadass? Deadass? It was a really good drawing. Yeah, my room's a freaking mess, bro. And it's hot as heck. Oh, here it is. In this room I'm in. Look at this. Okay, this was in Crown, so excusez-moi if it is not beautiful. But it says, no one taught you how to be a real man. So I did not sing that good. No one taught you how to be a real man. Would you hold it? Do. Not a silly romance. And yeah, I really like this. I folded it because I kind of liked if it was by itself. This is kind of like, I made it kind of a guitar, but also a cross. I've been really obsessed with crosses recently, and just anime looking men. I kind of wish that he didn't have these little hair flips. I don't know how to call them. I'm trying to do some cypress sigil. I was trying to do cypress sigilism from memory, but low-key it's buns. And I'm trying to do into like the Euro type of aesthetic of tattoos, Euro X cypress sigilism. So yeah, that's what I did. I like his eyes. Oh, that's something I did. You were my brother. You see it from the back. He was like, dang, you got really good at art. I was like, hey, kind of backhanded. No. What do you mean by that? Nah, he's always said that I was good and shit like that. And other people have as well, but I definitely think I could be better. Every artist thinks that they could be better. I don't know, I have a lot of passions and a lot of ideas, and I feel like I haven't really put them to fruition, but this is one of them, a podcast, and hope all goes well, because I'm just gonna raw dog this Trisha Paytas style of yappa data dueling, you know, and I hope you appreciate it. I hope you like. I think I have a lot of things I could talk about, which I've showed you, so hold me accountable. Hold me accountable for the rest of these and for anything that you guys suggest, but as you can tell, my throat is still recovering. Damn. Sometimes I cringe at myself. To be cringe is to be free. I feel like cringe has a, I was talking about it with I was gonna say my brother, but basically my brother, because he's my childhood friend Miguel, and his sister, and she was like, it's not cringe, it's whimsy, because cringe has a negative connotation, which I do agree. And people have called me weird, and I feel like also weird has a negative connotation. I know I'm weird, I know I'm cringe, but I'm trying to be free. And I feel like also too, I've kind of been losing my spark in that sense, and I'm trying to really embrace all sides of me, even though they're really cringe, even if it doesn't garner what I wanted initially, which was attention or male validation, which we could get into, because that has been troublesome for me. But I'm realizing now that that shit is so fucking stupid, and I really just need to be true to myself. And I feel like the truest way I can be to myself right now is definitely making this podcast and just putting something out there and finding out. That's been one of my mottos. Effing up and finding out. Freaking up and finding out. And that was always me freshman year of high school, when I used to don't do this, ditch a lot with my old friends. I never felt more free. But yeah, and I feel like I'm always trying to gain some part of my old self. It's me, but my old self, in some sense, the qualities that I like, and take from me the things I used to like about myself and bring them into this day and age. That's a part of growing, you know. It's kind of obvious, but you know what I mean. I feel like there's always something to work on, day to day, weekly, yearly, from the past to now to the future. And yeah, so I don't know what else I could say, because yeah, I should probably give my throat a little break, respectfully. Like I said, I know I can only hold myself accountable to continue this effort of yapping. But definitely, if you have anything to add to the things I've said, or to the things that I'm showing, which I don't know if you could read because it seems like I think it's backwards, let me know. I'm reading it now, I'm like, oh my god. Sorry, I love doing that. Yeah. Hope you enjoy, and peace.